Am I the asshole for not allowing mother-in-law to babysit my kids and wasting her whole day? The other day, my babysitter canceled, and I really needed someone to watch my younger 2 children so I could take my oldest to a birthday party. No younger siblings allowed, but parents had to stay. I was pretty desperate as I didn't want her to miss out, so I called mother-in-law. I knew she was probably at work still, and I accidentally video called her instead of regular, but she answered and didn't seem busy. I asked if there was any way she could leave early, very flexible, no she doesn't lose any pay, and watch the kids. Mother-in-law said she had a client coming in and couldn't. I said I totally understood. Then her boss ripped the phone out of her hand and told me she must be confused. She doesn't have a client and she isn't doing anything, so of course she can leave early. I was immediately uncomfortable and heard mother-in-law mutter, "Fuck you." He said mother-in-law would love to babysit. He can see it in her face. And then he was like, "Aw, she is so excited." Mother-in-law took the phone back and had the fakest smile. She said that she had the days mixed up and she can come over. I said, no, clearly she doesn't want to. I don't need her pity, and my kids don't need to be around someone with an attitude. She said I was being childish and she would come over. She hung up. I was furious and ended up getting someone else. Mother-in-law showed up right as I was leaving and told me it was fine and she could babysit, but I snapped at her. And I told her I'm not a charity case and I don't like her attitude. She called me childish and I told her to get out of my driveway, and my kids don't even like her as she's fake and has bad energy. She realized I was serious and got pissed. She said I shouldn't have called her then. I'm ungrateful and I wasted her whole afternoon. My husband absolutely had my back and bitched her out. So comments reveal an interesting angle here. From Just Sort 6370, her boss is the asshole. Whether she lied or not is not the issue. She doesn't owe anyone her free time and her boss should absolutely not have got involved. From Most Beautiful Cat, mother-in-law's boss is a bully, and OP made it worse by becoming hostile while mother-in-law was being bullied. The classy thing to do would to say within the boss's earshot, "Oh no, I forgot I actually had another babysitter. I guess we're both forgetful today," and said your goodbyes. Okay, I get that. And in this isolated incident, maybe. But it also seems like a snapshot of a much larger picture here, and that is mother-in-law's feeling about getting engaged with the children or that family at all. Clearly, she's just not that kind of person. Her boss stirred up a whole pile of shit, and he really is the villain of this story and the asshole of this story. I don't think anybody handled this well, though. This could have been communicated much more clearly. I don't know how. I don't know exactly what words would have needed to be said on both sides of the fence here, but there was a way to communicate through this because really the boss is the big dick. So what ended up happening was you both bucked up. And at that moment, you were both just ready for battle. It's hard to find a solution when you're ready for battle because you're not looking for a solution at that point. You're looking for a fight. So deep breaths. It's a shitty situation. Sucks to find out that your mother-in-law doesn't want to watch your kids, but that's all it was. Past that, I think it was a misunderstanding and miscommunication on both parts. It's salvageable. Don't count on her for watching your kids because now you know she doesn't like it, so you can move from that. So let's see here on the ASCON scale. That would put you at an ASCON 3. You probably should have approached that differently. Not a huge asshole for it, but could have communicated through that differently. I understand why it was insulting, and I understand getting puffed up, but she did the same thing. So it's just hard to find a solution that way. And there is one possible.